What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
I know what's going on. Big Shot Bob is on his way to China. China. It is the shoot-around. Let's call it episode 86 of the shoot-around. Our little Friday bonus show. If you ever got a question for us, we got a few for Rob this week. We're at Big Shot Bob Pod all over the place, and we are going to start with a question from Jeff, which is actually a carryover from something that happened on the show that came out on Wednesday. And I don't know the answer to this, did the Miami Heat do a tribute video for Jimmy Butler the other night?
Yeah.
Did they do a video for him?
I believe so.
Okay, because I remember Jimmy said he didn't give a shit either way. But I guess my question, Jeff's question was, do you think that he deserved one? And my question to Rob is, did you ever get a tribute video for a team or think you deserved one?
Actually, it's I'm gonna go with mine first.
Okay.
The Lakers had reached out when they let me go, and I went to send. They wanted to do a tribute video, and I was like, man, fuck that shit. I don't want no video. And Tom James of the Spurs said, man, you need to do that. That's like most guys don't get those.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And when you leave a team, it's some hurt feelings that go on there. And sometimes you say stuff
but you
that
still
you shouldn't say.
Yeah, you still
But
want
I said,
yeah.
okay, cool. So I did it. And they gave me a jersey, a framed jersey and everything. I went out to center court. And so at the back of my mind, I'm like, it was fucking cool, man. I got Laker fans that scream my name one last time, and played there 7 years. So I'm happy I did it. And with Jimmy Butler's case in Miami, you got to understand, there's probably a lot of mixed feelings going on with him and Pat Riley.
Oh, big time. And that's an understatement.
Do you do it because Jimmy won you a championship? Do you do it because he didn't
win him a championship. He got him to the finals, but he didn't win him nothing.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, I'm sure they probably did it just to say, save face, because you want to, you still want to mend that bridge because Jimmy is well loved in that community. So you want to mend that bridge.
Yeah, he deserves it. Look, this is in no way shade or disrespect to anybody, but we've had some Hawks players that have left and come back, and they found a way to scrap together a video tribute for some of those guys. So if you can do it for, like I said, no disrespect, if you can do it for guys who've had little moments here and there with a team, you can do it for a guy that's taking your team to the finals twice. Yeah. So, yeah, he absolutely deserves a tribute video for what he did for the Miami Heat while he was there and while he was happy.
Well, I just think that, while he was happy, yeah. I just think because of the way it ended, it might be like, well, do we do that for him? Because he kind of screwed it, and that was
because my thing is, like Jimmy always said, he said, I still got love for a lot of people over there. And I don't think we need to take the fact that he's disgruntled with Pat Riley as though he's disgruntled with the whole Miami organization. That's not the case.
We lost the legend this week. Last Friday, we lost George Foreman.
Yeah.
Passed away at 76 years old. Big George was a two-time heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist. Defeated and then undefeated heavyweight champ. He beat Joe Frazier in 1973. He was, he fought Muhammad Ali, Rumble in the Jungle, and Zaire. So, dude had like a boxing career beyond, and then had a business career that was even beyond that with the George Foreman Grills, with the lean, mean grilling machine. George,
did y'all have one?
I did. 100% had one.
I did too. It worked pretty good too.
No, it was good, man. When I was in
chicken.
college, I used to throw chicken on there and it would cook itself, and I was like, man, that's good shit. So I had a lean, mean cooking machine, grilling machine from George Foreman. Who's your all-time favorite boxer? Is the question here. Because look, I got nothing but mad respect for George Foreman, but he was never ever in the conversation for me as a favorite boxer. Like, he was never for me, it was like I always knew him as the spokesman. I always knew him as the grilling machine guy.
It's so hard.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a boxer you watched.
But
it's
like,
what I mean?
Because I can't say Muhammad Ali because I never got a chance to see him fight. And then I can't say he's like. I think I'm gonna go with Roy Jones Jr.
It's a good one.
Because we're the same age, so you kind of when you watch someone on a constant basis, and Mike Tyson was a hell of a boxer, but man, he be knocking people out too damn quick. So,
but that's who I'm going with, Mike Tyson,
and that's mine too. Just because that was my childhood, we got to watch as a kid. I watched that man just devour people, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And then we had Mike Tyson's Punch Out for Nintendo, and it was like we played Mike Tyson's Punch Out endlessly. Yeah. You had to wait for the big uppercut, dodge it at the right time, and Little Mac. Yeah, I mean that was But I mean, I think Tyson was like a pop culture phenomenon, and I think that's what made him so popular. But yeah, he was something else to watch. And I'm Sugar Ray Leonard, by the way, also in that conversation. I used to love watching Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Question from Bobby. This might be the most unfair question, because Rob won 7 NBA titles. But what do you guys think is harder to win, an NBA title or an NCAA title? And I think it's 100% an NCAA title because it's one and done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anybody can lose a game here and there. But in a 5-game series or a 7-game series, you can scrap your way back. So to get through March Madness unscathed for me is like damn near impossible.
It's damn near impossible. Because you think about when you have to, it's different now. But when you would play, let's say, for instance, we had to play Murray State when we were in college. Like, who the fuck is Murray State? They ain't on TV. We don't know shit about them. They got a guy named Popeye Jones just averaged 20 and 20.
Popeye!
Oh, shit. 20 and 20. You hear those numbers, then you play. I'm like, this dude, boo-boo. I'm like, no offense to Ronald, but we just smoked his ass. He had like 5 points in the whole game, like 6 rebounds. Like, this is the MAC player of the year? And he's going up against, and that's no offense to Pop. I love Ronald. Ronald is my boy. He got drafted to the Houston Rockets again, but that's just the one point I can, on a personal experience I can talk about. And it's just how coaches used to use that to motivate players because you didn't know who these players were. Now, with the idiot box in your hand, you know about all players' tendencies because and if they don't see games, shit, they post everything. Oh, I'm working on this today. Now, oh, that's what you're working on? Mental note, so. But yeah, it's definitely to me an NCAA title because there's not many guys that have those. Think about it, it's probably more guys outside the NBA with NCAA, with NBA, I mean, NCAA titles than there are with guys in the NBA. And I say that because there's so many guys you've never heard of that have won NCAA titles that didn't make it to the league. And there's a lot of guys you say, oh, this dude gonna be good in the league, but he doesn't translate to the NBA.
And then you got all-time NBA guys that have never sniffed an NCAA title.
Yeah, guys
who have won
3,
4, 7 NBA championships and then never got to really sniff an NCAA.
Just think about all the Duke players that have won national championships. We talk about Duke, and then talk about how many Duke players have won an NBA title.
So it's true. That's true. Let me ask you this then. What sport do you think, is it March Madness? What's the hardest title to win?
Football.
The Super Bowl?
I think football.
I'm still kind of sitting on March Madness, though, because there's just so many games. Like, you have to win every game, and you got to play a lot. Like, in the Super Bowl, if you're a 1 or a 2 seed in your conference and you get a bye, you got to win a division round and a title game to get to the Super Bowl. You got to win 2 games. March Madness, your ass is playing the first weekend. If you're the number 1 seed, if you're Auburn, you're Florida, you're whoever you are playing the first weekend, and you got to play twice. And then you got to play twice more, and then you got to get to the Final Four, and then you got to advance. So I still think March Madness is probably the hardest.
I think March Madness, you're right about everything that you're saying, but I think for both college football playoffs and the NFL playoffs, one other thing that I add into is the elements, especially that time of the year.
Good point.
Even though it's not as many games, I think the taxing nature of the game already, and the toll is already taken on your body throughout the season. You're now having to go into December and January. God forbid you got to go to New York or Chicago or wherever outside.
Green Bay.
Yeah, and you're having to fight the conditions, or Philadelphia, having to fight the conditions along with the team that you're playing against. So I think now most Super Bowls are going to be in warm climate conditions, so that you don't have to worry about that or be inside. But but
that's just the Super Bowl. You still got to go through. Yeah,
right.
If Philly's got home field through the playoffs, you got to go to the link and play there in arguably some of the worst weather of the whole year.
And with the tournament, and here's the thing about football, especially the NFL, it's so tough to get there because you have so many injuries that occur because of the nature of the game. It's so taxing on you when you're so close and you don't win, because now you got to go through another rigorous season of just the contact sport that is football. With basketball, it's a 64-team pool. Like, hopefully you can be in that number. You don't even have to be the greatest of team to be in that number. So I think you have more of a chance to get in, whereas with football, it's slimmer pickings.
True. Okay.
Well, you also don't have that many teams in football anyway, or the NFL at least.
And I'm with you on college football too, because you got to remember roster turnover in college football is bananas.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so many times where it's like you were on the precipice last year, and then your whole defense got drafted, and you got to start over. You know,
well, if that Georgia, Bama, does it really matter?
I guess not for the pedigree teams. No, but
for Bama it does now because Nick Saban ain't there.
Oh yeah. Kalen DeBoer's got to go recruit people after losing to Vanderbilt. So good luck with that. Did you see speaking of high school basketball? Did you see the New York high school basketball coach that pulled the girl's hair?
Yeah, I saw that.
This was during the state championship game. The Hudson Valley Community College Department of Public Safety says James Zulo was issued an appearance ticket for harassment in the second degree this past Monday. He was fired from his job at Northville High School after he pulled a girl's hair.
Was it?
Yeah.
This was during a game. She was on the sidelines, and he was yelling
he pulled her ponytail.
And he grabbed her ponytail and pulled her head back to yell at her. And to the credit of her teammate, you can see the teammate kind of take her, move her to the other side of the coach while he's yelling, and then kind of get in the coach's face and was like, hands off, don't do that ever again. Well, dude, of course, got fired and is now in court for harassment. But my question to you is, you've been around sports your whole life. We all have. What's the craziest, furthest thing you've seen a coach do to a kid? Have you seen a coach lay hands on somebody? Have you know what I mean?
No. Mm-mm.
I know that happens.
No,
and I know some coaches get a little too hot.
No.
Okay.
No, because there's a lot that goes on. Coaches back in my day, you touch somebody 9 times out of 10, the player was black and the coach was white. He didn't want to do that.
Well,
So,
that's a white crime.
The only thing you see is maybe the Indiana coach throwing the chair across the floor, but I've never
Bobby
seen
Knight,
live.
Classic.
Never think live. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but in all like the AAUs and all that stuff, though, you never saw a coach get like, maybe not get handsy, but like say something to a kid where you're just like, dude, this is too much.
I don't.
Okay.
Because I think you also got to take into consideration that which I was very surprised that didn't happen in this situation, but you put your hands on the wrong parent's child, and somebody gonna be coming up out them stands.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a few people coming up out them stands coming for you. So that's the risk that you take. It's one thing to coach a kid, and it's one thing to discipline a kid. But for you to put your hands on a child that is not yours,
on a girl,
on a girl at that, you are lucky if you still forget your job. You're lucky you still have your life, depending on whose child that is.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest.
I'm a girl dad.
Think about that. Yeah, you think about that situation with USC, meaning South Carolina and LSU that time when the dude tried to jump over. So you got moments
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that shit, man. It goes too far. All right, last story in the shoot around this week. We'll wrap it up. Phillies pitcher Matt Strahm is going to be okay. I just want you guys to know he's going to be all right. He hurt his finger packing up his children's toys. Damn Phillies. Matt Strahm suffered a gruesome middle finger injury while he was packing his daughter's toys in a box and jammed the cardboard between his nail and his finger. So he kind of like separated his fingernail a little bit from his hand. So he had to miss a game. He's expected to be okay for opening day and on the roster. But he's like said of spring training, quote, I'm going to have to buy a house so I don't have to pack. It's the second time he's hurt his finger packing up his daughter's toys. Soft. So my question to you is, what's the softest injury you remember a teammate getting or you getting?
I remember one time in the playoffs and Shaq cut his fingers in the playoff. Like, dude, what the fuck you doing? Why you even handling a knife right now?
He cut his fingers doing what?
I don't know how he cut his fingers. He cut his fingers during the playoffs. You remember he had to wear like two things on his fingers, and so like
this when he played for the
bandages on his
Lakers?
finger. Yeah, when he played for the Lakers. So
I don't remember that.
it was weird. I've never had one. I think about who was that what was his name? The guy who used to do the Dougie all the time.
Oh, John Wall tore his Achilles at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going down the steps or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah, see, that's always the ones. Yeah.
yeah.
What
What was and then you think about Monte Ellis, he messed his career up in Golden State by riding a moped. And the guy on ESPN riding
Jay
the motorcycle,
Williams.
Jay Williams. And so I think about all these guys that get ready to make
doing
all this
dumb
money
shit.
doing dumb shit.
Who was it? Was it Edwin Diaz for the Mets who hurt himself celebrating?
That was
Yeah.
Didn't he like tear his knee or something, jumping up
That
and down
happened
and
to-
celebrating after a win or something like that?
that happened to a kicker too when he was celebrating. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, celebrating. Yeah.
Who was the quarterback that hit his head and gave himself a concussion?
Oh,
Oh no, I just thought of a good one. Amari Stoudemire punching the fire extinguisher at Madison Square Garden and breaking his hand because he was pissed off after he got like ejected or something, and he was headed to the locker room and he punched a fire extinguisher and broke his damn hand and missed like a month or some shit.
I don't know if y'all remember. This was a golfer a couple of years ago celebrating, kind of like going down a hill, and he misstepped, and I don't know if he like dislocated his ankle or something celebrating. I don't know if y'all ever saw that footage. When you get time, look at it. I don't know if he won or he's celebrating a shot that he made, and he's going downhill celebrating, and he missteps and then somehow dislocates or twists his ankle. Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
How about this is not an athlete, but how about that fan hitting that shot, then goes to do the belly dive on the floor, and he does a slide, and knocks all his front teeth out.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that one.
You see that one?
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Man, it's a lot of things in sports where people
Well, it's like
celebrate.
flukes. It's like
Yeah.
fluke injuries. You know what I mean? Like who was it? Somebody broke their toe getting out of the shower. Just like clipped their toe on the edge of the thing and broke their toe and missed like a whole bunch of time. So yeah, but that's like shit that I would do. So like you're a professional. You're not supposed to do that.
And
All of these things that have happened to all these other athletes, one athlete who we would expect this to happen to at the house, but we've never heard of it. Anthony Davis. All his injuries have come on the
I
court.
know you're wrong for that shit, man.
Burns his hand cooking a tortilla. Like you're looking for that. Okay, yeah.
Hey,
wrong
I
for
thought,
that, man.
no, but I've always thought about it. I can
You're
respect
wrong.
him because all his injuries come on the floor. I would expect somebody that is injury prone as him, he get broken, tore off a toenail at home or playing with the dog and he jams a thumb or whatever. We ain't never heard of Anthony Davis hurting himself anywhere else outside of basketball.
Man.
You know, it's true.
Why you say that about Paul George? Why you say that about Kawhi? Why you gotta say that about AD, man? Don't you talk about my boy AD?
Well, that's my boy too. Well, it used to be.
And that's why he feels the need.